Thank you, Holly. Welcome to Unity of Lawrence. What a beautiful morning with sunlight coming through the windows in the morning. And Linda Dean brought beautiful flowers and Holly's tinkling pretty music. What a great day. What a beautiful day. Welcome. And as in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. So if Joanne is our prayer chaplain today, will come forward, and she is available after the service for one-on-one prayer also, if you'd like to come forward after the service, and we are blessed.
Thank you. So let us breathe in a big breath into the deepest part of our body where it reaches every cell, and be there. And take another breath. Breathing out, send it to the far corners of the earth, of the universe, and maybe even beyond to the unknown. Then we come back to earth, our beautiful earth, where we wait for spring and all the diversity that comes with spring. New flowers, new plants, new life, new thoughts, and we embrace them all. This is spirit. But sometimes we don't agree with every thought that comes up. But let us recognize it's only because of a perception that we have. And we can embrace those thoughts, even if we don't agree with certain thoughts that people have. Maybe smile at them, laugh, maybe even play with them. And we'll begin to think of them differently, as friendly. So, again, we are here waiting for spring, new life. Let us step into the unknown, because every step we take, every day, is unknown. Life is an adventure. Diversity is divinity. Thank you, Spirit. Amen.
I love that. Diversity is divinity. So let's affirm that in song, standing together as we are able in We Come Together in the Name of Love. And Jay, thank you for leading.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together.
We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. Now, turn and greet your neighbor. Say hello, howdy, maybe give a handshake or a hug or a bow. Welcome. We're really glad you're here. Do whatever you want to do. There you go. Of life. That's where it is. From every walk of life, every creed or color, as we reunite, we honor the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love.
So as we come together this morning, let us affirm our principles, starting with Unity's founding principle. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our Unity of Lawrence vision, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our mission? We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And helping us with that today is our guest musician, Steve Epley.
Hi, everybody. It's always great to come out here. I love this place. This is such a really great place to be. Thank you. I thought a few years ago there needed to be a New Thought good news song, right? Time to ring a bell. It's news to tell. Wake up the neighbors, there is no hell. We can dance and we can sing. Fear is illusion, it really doesn't mean anything. Only love is real, ring that bell. War is over if we want it. Now it's time to choose. Fear or illusion, peace or confusion. Oh, how many times have we turned to love and then thought better? How many times have we turned away from love? The answer is there is no answer. Is there is no answer. I am the way, the truth, the light, the Christ, the light, the way. It's time to ring a bell. It's news to tell. Wake up the neighbors, there is no hell. We can dance, we can sing. Fear is illusion, it really doesn't mean anything. Thank you very much.
How perfect. And since love is everything and all there is, we are blessed to welcome Martin Dowman as our guest speaker today, a licensed Unity teacher, co-coordinator at the Light Center. And so, Martin Dowman, thank you for being here and sharing your message with us today.
Whoops. Can you tuck that in? Thank you so much, Michelle. What beautiful faces. When I was 23, I had an accident while playing laser tag, drunk. I was running down a long ramp, and I saw this column that was at the end of the ramp, and I thought, man, I could just grab a hold of that with one arm and slide around behind it and hide underneath, and the other team won't be shooting at me. Well, I was running so fast down this ramp that as soon as I grabbed a hold of it, it got ripped right out of my hand, and my knee went into the next column and crushed it. Of course, it threw me around backwards and laid me out on the ground, and the important thing was not to be shot at anymore, so I crawled and limped my way into a little cubby hole and hid for the rest of the game. My flattened knee took a long time to heal, and it had a great deal of pain. This is how I walked into a 12-step meeting on crutches in physical, emotional, and spiritual pain. The other people there were compassionate and wise. They gave me the key to the meeting hall and said, come back to the next meeting and open the door for us. It brought me back to the group, and it probably saved my life. So what is compassion? Is it one of those things where we know it when we see it? Is it something where we see it in others, but we don't really notice it in ourselves? Am I compassionate? I ask myself that. The root of compassion is Latin, and it's compati, meaning suffer with, pity, sorrow. Wow. Compassion, if you look it up on the web, there are a lot of definitions out there, and they go from that to everything you can imagine because everybody's trying to tie something into it. My belief for the correct version of that is empathy in action, to be of service to myself and to others. Compassion requires emotional intelligence. Ooh, I don't like the word of that. How about emotional awareness? Aware of our emotions, ability to control what we do with our emotions, expressing emotions safely, and using good judgment. In coming from that sympathy and pity direction, it's more like, you poor thing, I want to help you. Yeah, bless you. There's the other one, yes. Bless your heart. I would say that if we are trying to help, we're seeing ourselves above someone else. Anne Lamott, in her TED Talk, has a really good description. Our help is usually not very helpful. Our help is often toxic. And help is the sunny side of control. Stop helping so much. I can't save, fix, or rescue others. So to unpack the power of compassion, I'm going to use Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, and his 12 powers to sort of walk through this process. First, we know that all we have is these powers within us. They're already innate. They're just a part of us. And so how we use them is going to be the focus of my talk on how to use them in compassion. So it begins with understanding. And that understanding is simply the knowing of the situation. We don't have to necessarily believe in it. We just have to see it and be there. Excuse me. Wisdom is the second one, and this comes from experience. It's how we use what we know in service to others. Next comes will, and that's the choice to hold space for the other person in that situation. Love is the tenderness, the tender kindness for them that we summon from within. Faith is the conviction that we can hold that space for another. Order is reviewing the situation and patiently moving forward in the divine order. Strength is the endurance to persistently show up. We must be vulnerable to be able to show up. Imagination is envisioning the best and highest for their good and knowing that it will come. Zeal is that strength or that enthusiasm to get started into action, being fully present in the flow. Elimination is letting go of the baggage of our own story. Life is to take action, and it comes from co-creating with the divine. And power is the master control, and that is from our voice. What we say matters. So, am I speaking compassion? I know that's a lot to work with, and also that this is an innate part of all of us. This isn't something that we don't have the ability to be. But I invite you right now to just close your eyes and get comfortable and center yourself in these powerful energies within you. Bring to mind a situation of someone overwhelmed, beleaguered, having a difficult time. Now find your compassion for this other person. Hold the sacred space for them, seeing their difficulty through compassionate eyes of understanding, wisdom, will, faith, love, order, strength, imagination, zeal, elimination, life, and power. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And now I'd like for you to stand up, if you're able, at this moment, and find somebody nearby you. And I'd like for you to look into their eyes with that deep compassion. And one of you, if you need to find people like 3, that's fine. One of you will start by looking in the eyes of the other and saying, I see you. And then the other person will respond with, I am here. So, I see you. I am here. And now I'd like for you to go find someone else. I know, we're moving around. Find someone else and do the same thing again. I know we're working on this. Let's try this one more time. Switch one more time. And when you're complete, you can go back to your seats. I know I got them started. Now they're up and talking. Blessings. So take your seat. Now there's a major part of compassion that I haven't talked about, and that is self-compassion. And that self-compassion is very important. And I have 6 things that I need to share with you. One of those is that self-kindness versus self-judgment. I know I've done that. I did that this morning. I had an experience where I was dressed and ready to go, and I was just going to wash 1 cup, and I hit that thing on the soap thing, and it shot me right down the whole side. And I was so angry with myself that I had done that, and it was like, really? You know what I'm talking about, right? Just let it go. An old Buddhist saying is, pain is inevitable and suffering is optional. Another way of saying that is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't have to build a condo there. My favorite. Another quote from Anne Lamott, try not to compare your insides to other people's outsides. Notice the word try. This is that compassion right there in the question. While fixing and saving and trying to rescue is futile, radical self-care is quantum. And it radiates out from you and is a huge gift to the world. Can you see that? Say it again. While fixing and saving and trying to rescue is futile, radical self-care is quantum. And it radiates out from you and is a huge gift to this world. When I have self-care, I show up differently. So, remember that story about my knee? I finally, after a great deal of pain, gave up and decided to get on my knees. And I really didn't know how to pray at that time. It was the most painful thing to be on my knees. I was in tears. I was completely done. And the only thing I could say was help. That was it. I woke up the next morning in the shower, realizing that I had gotten over the rim of the tub with that leg with no pain. And it was a shock. I realized that divine grace had moved. And this changed my life because I knew that God was moving in me. So her next quote was that the movement of grace is what changes us, heals us, and heals the world. To summon grace, say help, and then buckle up. Grace finds you exactly where you are, but it doesn't leave you where it found you. And the last part of this is mindfulness. And mindfulness is the key to self-compassion. It brings you balance. So at this point, I'm going to invite Steve Epley to come up and share his wonderful voice with us now. And we'll be right back right after that to do the meditation. Thank you.
Listen to him talk for a long time.
Apparently I'm on. That's good. I have a song called Special. I was thinking of doing it. So when Martin and I were talking earlier this week, he was just kind of giving me the theme that he was going to be working with, some of the ideas he was going to be working with. We had a nice conversation about all this, and so this song popped in as a possible thing to work with. I think it works. This is, well, I got the idea for this song, actually. We were talking about Africa. Martin does work in Africa. We're talking about the idea that in Africa there's this thing that they say to each other. It's a little bit like namaste. Probably most of you are familiar with it, where they say, I see you, right? I see you. Similar to the exercise we just did. And so I wanted to work with that, with the song. So here it is. Well, I see you. You see me too. In the name of God. In the name of God. Well, I know you. You know me too. In the name of God. In the name of God. When we see the world, we want to fall in love. Then we love the world, but want to rise above. So we think and think and plan to think of what to make sure of. And we work and work and plan to work on what to rise above. Then time flies, we dry our eyes and see. Well, I help you, you help me too. In the name of God. In the name of God. Well, I teach you. You teach me too. In the name of God. In the name of God. When we see the world, we want to fall in love. We love the world and want to rise above. So we think and think and plan to think on what to make sure of. We work and work and plan to work on what to let go of. Then time flies, we dry our eyes and see. I love you, and you love me too. In the name of God. In the name of God. Namaste. Namaste. In the name of God. In the name of God. Go, Holly.
So just take a moment and remove anything from your lap. Find a comfortable position and be grounded. Close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes. Release your mind and drop down into your heart. Take a deep breath, feeling your abdomen expanding. Release that breath into the earth. Take another deep breath as you feel the compassion rise in you. Release this breath and notice it produces a sacred space surrounding you completely. Allow yourself to open to the possibility that the highest form of happiness, which is joy, is a part of you because of compassion from others and for yourself. Now imagine the divine in you speaking these words of compassion to yourself. I see you. And the voice from within you speaks, I am here. And let's take that into a moment of silence. And now gently return to this space and bring this compassion for yourself with you. And then slowly open your eyes. Namaste.
So I was looking at the Course in Miracles one time, and thinking about compassion for yourself, right? And I was thinking that the Course teaches anyway that one of the really great acts of compassion that you can do for yourself is to let go of the obligation to be special, right? That's what this song is about. I remember trying hard to be that kid in school that everybody loved, but nothing that I did or said could make them see that I was someone special. I remember writing songs and singing songs that everybody loved, but nothing that I wrote or sang could make them see that I was someone special. And I remember falling into the arms of the bars to be loved. But a hero with a little drama's easy to be, so I was someone special. Searching for a light, a way free from the trap I'd set for me. And I began to see that my special me was an empty plea. So I stopped believing in my sacred separation from you, and everything I did and said began to move to a firmer foundation. St. Peter's Rock, while beautiful, was never meant to be exclusive property. I'm building there, and someday if I work real hard, well, I'll be nothing special.
Each individual note, but it takes all to make that special. So what a wonderful reminder. Beautiful messages and music. And we are part of all that comes in and through this space. So as our prayer chaplain and ushers come forward and we take our gifts in our hands, remembering each of us brings in and through this space who we really are. So let's take those gifts in our hands and our hearts and bless that together, saying, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And now we get to join Jay in more singing.
How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? how deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
So we breathe and give thanks for the gracious givers and the humble receivers. And may these funds be used for the good of God, Spirit. Amen.
So if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome to Unity of Lawrence. We do have information packets in the foyer, and we are glad that you are here, and we welcome you back again and again. Also in the foyer is our upcoming new calendar for the month of February that Kathy Moreland has prepared, so you know what's coming in and through us for next month. Today, after our service, the Sunday lunch bunch of anybody who wants to be there is meeting at Panera Bread. All are welcome. And next week, Reverend Paul Hesselbeck will be back. He'll speak on using Truth You Know, Unity's Principles and Premises. Special music will be provided by Folk in the Flow. Also, next week, Reverend Paul is facilitating a workshop from 12:30 to 2:30. He's taking a romp through Unity's teachings and how to apply them. Get your questions answered and prepare to question your answers. Don't worry, it'll be over well in advance of any kickoffs that somebody might be having somewhere. And also, speaking of kicking things off with the new year, and now it's January 2020, yay, for one more week, your annual giving statements will be emailed today, mailed tomorrow. So as you're working on those taxes, that will be coming to you so that you can take care of things in your own way and time. Now it's time to sing in our youth with You Are Walking in the Light.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Good morning.
Morning.
Our lesson this morning was compassion, thinking of others, and our intention was to explore what it feels like to think of others and to do something for other people. And we're going to share our affirmation this morning. It's right here. Ready?
I share God's love when I help others.
Very good.
So congregation, let's rub our hands together and bless our youth, saying, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you.
Rub our hands together. Very good. We'll hold our hands out and we say, congregation, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. Very nice.
Well, now let's join hands for our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony, perfect harmony. peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Yes, now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we lower our hands, let's say the prayer of protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. There we are. God is